really excited to share with you something about the amazing Leontyne Price. She is truly a scintillating opera singer, and you will see why when I am done with this speech. She has won 19 Grammy Awards, more than any other classical artist, including a Lifetime Achievement Award. She's won the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the Kennedy Center Honors Awards. Those are just some of the top ones, many others. She was the first black artist in a leading role on television in 1955, a real trailblazer. She was the first black in a romantic role to make a debut at the Metropolitan Opera in 1961, where she had a 43-minute standing ovation, the longest in the history of the Metropolitan Opera. Now, you already know by me saying that this is somebody special. She had an opera written specifically for her to open the brand new Metropolitan Opera. You cannot get a higher honor than that if you are a soprano. You just can't. It cannot be. Many of the top opera singers of the world today all say that she was their #1 inspiration. She's not just a great voice, she's a remarkable person. I think the most remarkable thing about her, though, is that she is the daughter of a black maid and a mill worker from Laurel, Mississippi, at a time when blacks almost never rose to national prominence. But not only did she rise to the pinnacle of operatic fame, but her brother became a brigadier general. I mean, that's an amazing family from such humble beginnings. In 1955, she was chosen to be in Tosca on TV. That's back when TV did nice things with the arts. And I saw an interview with her, and she was asked if she was intimidated, if she was full of nerves, daunted by this task. And she says, "No, I was not. I felt that this country afforded me this opportunity, and it was up to me to take it. And the fact that I was chosen was exemplary, that this country wanted me to have this opportunity. And that for once, this country was putting its money where its mouth was, and giving me the opportunity to sing this role." She said people around her were going crazy, always crazy, all throughout her career. And it was just like this at the first time. But she said, all I was worried about was, have I vocalized? Have I practiced? Is my voice flexible? She was a woman who knew how to control. She probably had gone to Toastmasters. One of the things that she said that was very amazing, she's very patriotic, especially because of her brother, but she said, one of the things that's so great about America is that all you have to do is do something once, and it is part of the curriculum. It can be done again. And she certainly showed that it had, and she paved the way for all the other big black artists in the opera after her. Now, she was asked after this 1955 performance, there was furor. Oh my God! All these white people all over the place were going crazy. And they had these, Mississippi, the state she's from, barred that performance from being shown on public television. And they asked her about that. How did she feel about it? She says, you know, all my life I have said, if it is your problem, it is your problem, not my problem. She said, if John and Jane Doe are closing their minds to the beauty of my God-given voice, they are just stupid. So, she's a real character. The other thing that's real interesting about Leontyne Price, I want you to, well, first of all, let's just look at how she held up. Look at that handout down at the bottom. That's her at 80 at the bottom. As they sometimes say, black dog crack. Well, it certainly did not. She hadn't had any plastic surgery. She never aged, and her voice never aged. And she had a teacher. She went to Juilliard, which is the greatest music school in the country. And the reason why she went there, the people that her mother worked for believed in her, and they sponsored her. And that's the type of, people came. This was not just one person going ahead. She had the whole community behind her, putting her in the position she was in. But anyway, her teacher at Juilliard said that you should always, as Leontyne said, sing on your interest and not your principle. And she did that. She chose her roles very carefully. There's a big tenor on the scene today, Jonas Kaufman, who's gorgeous. He's the darling of all the DVDs, but he's been lured by all of the money that's being offered by all of these great performances. And he's been singing too much, and he's got nodes on his vocal cords and has to have surgery. Leontyne didn't. She sang on stage until she was 57, and then she sang in recitals until she was 71. And I heard her at age 70 in Seattle, and she was amazing. Now, I have chosen very wisely, I think, this piece to share with you that shows off to best. This was a piece that was her signature piece for years. You really have to be something to do this piece well. You have to have, what is our word for today? You have to have a scintillating top. And boy, did she have an incredible top. She had the middle of her voice, the bottom, was a darker mezzo-ish like voice. And to me, that part of her voice reminded me, she sounds black. She sounds like Dinah Washington or Sarah Vaughan, that sort of coloring. And yet she takes that and throws it up to this glorious top. Well, this is a piece called Zweite Brautnacht. It is the second bridal night. And in this aria, the vocal line is just in the stratosphere so much of the time. And she's going to soar up to the highest note ever written for a dramatic soprano in the repertoire. And she's going to go up to high C and then beyond. And I want you to listen to something real interesting in how she's doing this. I've heard other singers do it, and they always take 3 breaths. Well, phrasing is really important in opera, and it can make the difference in it sounding smooth and beautiful as opposed to jerky and doesn't quite work. Well, she just holds it forever. And so when she gets to the part where she's going to have the vocal climax, I'm going to do like this. I'm going to kind of slowly walk along. I want you to look at me to see, pay attention to how long she holds this. And then when I let up, she's going to even continue the line down into this rich mezzo part of the voice. The top, I've heard bigger tops, but none prettier. So, I think it is time to listen to this fabulous piece. Zweite Brautnacht by Richard Strauss. He's the one who wrote Elektra, and I did a talk about Elektra, if you remember. The big phrase is starting to come up. She's going to build up to it. I stopped it there because the music goes really crazy and really loud. As you can hear, this is a remarkable, remarkable talent. I think the thing that is so great about Leontyne Price is not only was she a great singer, she was a role model for so many people at a time when they needed to see that blacks can actually rise to the top. She was better than everybody else. That's the reason why she was such a star. It wasn't just because she was black. She was incredible. She was the leading baritone soprano of the day, and that's one of the hardest roles to fill. At the final part of my speeches, I'm going to play for you a 15-second little bit of Leontyne singing at age 80 at an honors award. And I want you to listen. The voice is more mature, but I've never heard an 80-year-old sound like this. So here's Leontyne. What a set of pipes. And she's still a character, and her interviews are wonderful. I tried my best to imitate the way she talks. I really like the fact that she has kept that Mississippi accent. And it really makes her seem like the real person that her roots are showing, and they're wonderful roots. So at this point, I'm going to turn the meeting back over to our Toastmaster, temporaries, interim, what's the word?
Active.
Bill Sanders.